Welcome to the Real Estate Freedom Podcast, where we teach people how to gain freedom through all forms of real estate. Today, I am going to talk to y'all about something that has been on my heart for a long time, and it is I call them generational wealth hacks. Because as you know, in our community, the African American community, we have not always had a fair footing in gaining wealth, especially in real estate. For just fact purposes, in 1968, the U.S. government passed something called the Fair Housing Act. And it was 1 week after Martin Luther King was assassinated. And just think about it, 1968. Today, it's 2021, soon to be 2022. That has not been a very long time in order in this country to gain wealth through the power of real estate. So with that act, it says that you can't be discriminated against in getting any type of real estate. So if you have a grandmother, grandparent, or even a parent that's still alive today, that just means if they were born, because my mom, she was born in 1954. So of course she was just a teenager during that time, but that just means her mother couldn't really legally buy a home in this area without it being heavily taxed or just not fair. So we didn't have time to build wealth. So today, I want to talk to you guys about what I call a generational wealth hack. This is going to be more for your family, and then it will come to you, and I'll make it make sense. So, like I said, our grandparents and parents, for the most part, if they didn't have it already given to them, they weren't able to build wealth through real estate. So here's a hack that we could do. Let's look at your grandmother, mom, uncles, aunts, everybody. Let's all get them together and say, hey, look, we're going to make sure that the generations to come is going to have wealth while we're providing for ourselves today. So this is what I did for my mom and my uncle. I got their credit fixed. They really didn't have any credit scores because they came from the generation of saying, hey, I'm just going to pay for everything in cash. Or when they did have credit, they didn't manage the credit wisely because they just weren't educated with it. So a couple of years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and fix you guys' credit. So what I did, my mom, she didn't have any credit scores. So I put her on as an authorized user on my credit card, and that shot her credit up like to 700 in a month. I didn't actually give her my card. I just put her on as an authorized user on a card that I had over a number of years. I didn't max it out. I think at the time my I had like $1,000. I think it was like $1,000 that I had that I could spend on that card. But I never spent over $200 on it because I wanted to keep my utilization under 30%. And so I've always paid it on time because I had it on auto draft. So when I put her on as an authorized user, that shot her credit score up all the way to 700. And I did something similar for my uncle as well. So once I got their credit straight, and I said that they would be living together because both of them are on disability, so retired disability. So you could still purchase a home with it. They are living together, and I got them qualified for a home loan. So we purchased a home, and it was a foreclosure property. So I did have to pay a little bit more towards their closing costs and prepaids, and I gifted them the down payment money to purchase the home as well. And so now they're in a home, and we got it for about $80,000, but the after repair value of it right now is about $135,000. So we have that equity spread in the property. And what I also did, because I do have siblings, we got a will in place and a trust, and they named me executor of their estate. So if anything were to happen to them or whenever they transition, I get ownership of the home. And of course, I'm not the type of person. I'm going to make sure my brothers are taken care of and our other family. But that's a generational wealth hack. Just because our grandparents and our parents didn't have the opportunity all the time to build wealth through real estate, it doesn't mean that you can't help them get the wealth through real estate today. And at the same time, this is what's going to happen. So, like I said, when the time does come and they do transition, I'll have this home, and like I said, the home right now, purchase it for 80, or worth about 130 right now, and it's just going to keep going up in value, and we're going to keep paying down that loan. So let's just say that the loan is completely paid off, and then whenever they transition, the home is now worth $150,000. So that means I have $150,000 worth of equity. I also own my own property because I keep up with my credit. I own property as well. So I have not only my property going towards my net worth, but I also have the property of my parents going towards the net worth as well. And we could pull out that equity and buy more property. And at the same time, what I'm doing for my daughter is I also have a home. Me and my husband have a home in her name, and it goes into her trust account. And we set that up with our attorney. So even though we're starting from behind, doesn't mean we have to stay behind. You can do these generational wealth hacks that will get you further in a short period of time, because we live in the most fabulous time ever. This is the information era. As long as you can get a hold of the information, really understand it, and take action on it, then we could be light years ahead. So take the time, have a family meeting, kind of get everybody's credit together. That should be a goal for a family. Get everybody's credit together. Set up a trust, and y'all become y'all's own bank, because you can contribute money to this trust. You can put your homes in a trust. And like I said, I'll do classes about this later, because a lot of times older people are afraid to put assets in their name just in case they have to go to a nursing home or if they have to get some type of assistance. But there's also a way around that as well, because if you put it in a trust, then you can have someone else control that trust, but that asset won't count against them whenever they try to get government benefits. But again, we'll talk about that at a later date, because we're going to do these generational wealth hacks because the time is now. We don't have to wait anymore for the wealth that we deserve or desire. We can absolutely get it today. We can help ourselves. We can help our children. We can help our parents and grandparents while helping the community. So this was our first generational wealth hack conversation. If you have any questions about generational wealth hacks, building wealth, leave a comment below and we'll get to it. All right. Y'all have a great day and go and get you some real estate freedom.